So, good evening, everybody. The official start to the 2019 Online Championship Series has come. Looks like we've already got quite a few games going on here. It's been about 24 hours now since the official kickoff. We're just over starting into day two. The server time is GMT, so it's based out of Europe. So guys have been playing OCS games for about 24 hours now. We've already had a huge number of games played. In fact, I think a couple people, yeah, Tom's already got 6 games in. No shocker there. He's only 3-3 though. Blackfire has 5 games. J Nap's got 4. A couple other guys have just played their first game or so. But very exciting to see everybody excited about the tournament. We're up to 66 now season passes that have been sold. These are people who have paid their $50 entry fee and will be trying to compete in all 7 months. Very excited about that. Last year we had about 47 season passes, and we had about 15 people. We averaged about 15 people who signed up to play on a month-to-month basis. Sometimes they would take a month off here and there as their personal schedules dictated. So we usually had about 60 players signed up for each event. But so we're already over that number with our season pass total. Plus we had about 4 or 5 so far who have just signed up for February only. Certainly should be quite an exciting season. This was a great time last year. We did lots of OCS content on the PC page, streaming all of the top 16, top 8, top 4, and the finals matches. All that content can be found on the YouTube Star Wars CCG YouTube page now. But now, just looking at what we've got here, we've got quite a few games going on. We're just going to pop into a few and just kind of see what's up. Retwin 316, Brian Fred has finally decided to sign up and play on Gemp. Only took him 2 years, to catch up to the rest of the cool kids. And it looks like he's running a Dark Deal First Order deck, probably very similar to the one that Jonathan Chu used the last couple major events, the World Championships and the Endor Grand Prix. Of course, all the deck lists from the Endor Grand Prix have been typed up and are now available on the PC page as well, so feel free to check those out. We're very happy to get all those up and done as quickly as possible. The new online submission feature that was also just launched should help speed that up quite a bit as well. But we see Retwin here. He's definitely he's got some decent board position here, but it looks like he's actually behind in this game a little bit. Like right now, ahead on life force counts, 19, 21, 26 to 23. So he's slightly ahead in life force counts, but obviously these ships here getting the drain in at the sector. These guys are probably a pretty good threat to take most of this site. Luke's got this drain going up here in space. It's that Luke, so he doesn't retrieve. Yeah, it's a pretty even game so far. He's playing in gold leader there, red leader with the X-wing cannon and Theron net. He's playing against W. Cullen. That's Wayne Cullen. Wayne is known as the NPC Bracket Buster. Wayne is, the last couple of years, we seed it like right around the 9, 10, 11 mark each year, and he's had a pretty consistent record of upsetting his first round opponents. Usually we start moving like he was 11, and then he beat the 6, and we moved him up, and then he beat, a 5 or a 7, or, so he's had a pretty good record, at least in his first round matchups, and we'll be back competing again this year, so we're excited to have that back. But looking at this game right here, obviously Wayne's going to try and get as many drains in as he can to sort of threaten his board position. Right, when they both have small hands, they both have limited resources to work with. The Dark Deal deck isn't known for having a whole lot of characters. It's got a lot of splashable characters, but it usually needs to have a couple of guys together to really do much of anything. We've got relatively unprotected up here. It's making the immunity -4 on the Executor, so it's only immune to less than 8 right now. Don't know that'll necessarily come into play, because Luke here only adds a Destiny. Oh, he does add Destiny Power or Attrition, so if Luke were to move back over and these guys were to fly back up, they could certainly threaten the Executor, but I think for right now, Wayne's going to be content to just sort of do a bit of a drain race. He's losing 1 to Occupation and 1 to this drain here, so he's losing 2 cards a turn total, but he's draining for 2 himself over here at Narshada, because that's a force drain +1, and he's also got a drain of 2 going on at Bespin, where he knows the Executor can't follow. So he would be content right now just to kind of outpace this damage. And if he gets a ground drain in, that would certainly work to his advantage as well. He's got Mace, Saber, he's got Leia. Leia just canceled this drain here. I don't know how many times she's used that. Usually, unfortunately, that doesn't keep track and count for us. But it's one of the things that I wish they had little features where the counters for how many times you've used certain things, like how many Endor Shield pulls does he have left, or how many Leia pulls or uses does the opponent have remaining. Little things like that hopefully are features that maybe will get added to Jump in 2019. This is where Rhett was going to have to try and squeeze his opponent a little bit, because he knows he's getting out-drained. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have Chiranu, at least. Okay, so that's at least a drain of 2 as well. But it's these drains here of 4 that are going to be problematic. He's going to deploy Vader there, move the other 3 over. So you've got FN, who cancels someone's game text, keeps them from firing weapons. Mace would get the first swing, could hit whoever he wanted. With some well-tracked destinies, could probably easily hit Snoke. Definitely hit Phasma. And then, Snoke's immune to less than 8, so if you could set up the destinies right, he'd be the guy you'd want to go after. So you hit him, FN makes himself hit, and then you just have to really just draw higher than 3 to make sure that he has to lose something else, and lose Phasma as well. He's getting a little bit of power bonus here. He gets power +2 for having the ships there. But Darkseid is drawing 2 Battle Destiny. Sorry About the Mess would actually be the huge card here. Pick off FN. That eliminates the second Battle Destiny from Phasma, eliminates Mace's game text from getting canceled, and that would certainly open things up. But with only a 2-card hand, it's probably unlikely that that's what Wayne is looking at. So, but thank you guys all for joining me on this fine Friday evening. Just coming up on the start of Groundhog Day here. Of course, be sure and click that little heart in the top right-hand corner to follow my page, so you get updates when I'm going live streaming Star Wars or Hearthstone, my other game of choice. But I'm trying to do more Star Wars content now that the OCS is back up and running. Took a little break there for the winter months between Worlds and the OCS, just doing all the other streaming. I haven't been as active playing myself, and I'm going to try and get a game in tonight for the first time in some time. So we'll see how that goes. So I need to watch a couple people play a little bit, get myself warmed up. So, all right, we're going to pop out of this game for a second. We'll keep an eye on that one. But there are several other OCS games going on now. We've got up to 4 going on right now. Let's pop in on this one real quick. We got Brigham and Killer Kiwi. Brigham, a Canadian player, mostly a home player, hasn't really competed in major events in quite some time. Did come to the NPC with his son maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He was there, and of course Killer Kiwi, our Star Wars documentarian, just completed his GoFundMe campaign, officially raised the last of the $10,000 he has been trying to raise for the last year and a half to finish up all of the editing and processing of his video. He's made all of his trips around the world, done a tremendous amount of interviews with players of uh, great caliber and Hall of Fame accomplishments, and some of the advocates and the people who created the game working for Decipher over the years. So very excited. Oh, thank you for that. Apparently, I tripped or pulled the cord out. So, thank you. Ah, cheddar biscuits. I wonder how long I was talking to myself. um, okay, so he's just going to move. So he's not going to battle. He's just going to deploy those guys there to block the drain. But he's not going to battle, and then he's going to spread out on the ground to cover all three sites. Oh, and then consolidate. Nope, looks like he's just moving away from the Dune C. So he's going to give up the Dune C and give his opponent a site to go to if he so chooses. Diplo obviously wants to get guys to the ground so he can get back on its 7 side so then it can start adding to its total destiny draws, because I don't even think it says Battleground. Does it say Battleground? It does say Battleground. Okay. So if they got a guy here, they flip, then they're adding 3 to their total. So they could still battle here and add 3 to the total. Shoot Ice Heart, and then you just got to draw. Dooku's only immune to less than 6 because there's no Jedi there. So then you just got to draw like a 3 to really get rid of him. Problem is, of course, is if you do battle him, he's going to pull the Force Lightning, and then he's going to zap one of these two guys, and you get no Battle Destiny, and things go awry. But um, I've always had good success with Hunt Down in these matchups, strictly because you can contest their ground drains pretty well. If you can keep Visage active, it definitely goes a lot further, because then you're doing a lot of pings and you're usually on this side of your objective, especially when they're playing Space Luke. You tend to stay on this side of the objective a lot of the time. Um, so I would favor the Hunt Down in this particular matchup. But Diplo you have to be careful with, because if Diplo can stay flipped, then obviously they have the ability to win battles, retrieve characters, and just retrieve force in general and get characters back from the previous battle, kind of the way Scum does, and you just keep looping stuff around. I'm going to pop back to the lobby for a second here. So it looks like this game is still going on. We've also got J Knapp going for game number 5, I believe this is already for him. He's rolling with the Tig, and he's going to be playing Yoshi. Yoshi, a newer player to Jemp, one of the younger, well, I don't know that he's younger. I'm assuming he's younger. But a newer player from Minnesota. He's part of the Minnesota group, and I just automatically assume that they're all kids. They're not. Some of them are, into their 20s and whatnot by now. But that Minnesota group has had a very, prolonged period of expansion. So all the wonderful things that Mark Walseth and those guys do up in the Minnesota area. So Yoshi just signed up, obviously, for the OCS, and also will be competing in his first MPC this year, coming up at the end of April. So very excited to have another first-time player participating in that event. And looks like J Knapp is going to go for Profundity Anakin, going to go after Fett and EPP Kylo. Okay, he's got Lando. His opponent saved one Force. We haven't seen a barrier or anything. And Rey as well. Okay, so Rey's going to get a card out of the used pile. So now he's got Rey adding 1 to the total Battle Destiny, Anakin adding 1 to each draw, Lando adding a second draw. Plenty of forfeit on here as well. Should be in a pretty good position. He just has to beat 7 here to get rid of both characters. He's going to draw 2 Destiny and add 1 to the total. So he's basically already at +3. So with 2 Destiny, he just needs to get to a 5, and he's going to clear both characters. It's a pretty strong position to be in. And he'll add Leia, which will let him retrieve 2 Force, because when Leia initiates battle against a First Order, or anyone initiates battle, a Resistance character initiates battle against a First Order character, you retrieve 2. It's 1 if it's anybody else, but since Kylo's there and Rey's there, it's just like in the movies. We're retrieving 2 Force, and there's Draw Their Fire, which is another card that I was wondering if would be making an appearance. That's certainly gonna swing things a little bit as well. So now Dark Side Interrupts will cost 1 to play during the upcoming battle, as well as the Retrieve a Force, Lose a Force mechanic. So Secret Plans is out. He satisfies Coward, so he'd have to, he could pay 1, retrieve 1, withdraw their fire, and then Leia is a second optional retrieval that he could have to pay 2 Force to retrieve 2 more cards. So he can get his whole lost pile back. If he's not planning on drawing or moving, he doesn't necessarily need that force. See what's in there. It's probably just a starting interrupt and a random card or two he threw away. So he gets back a control tunnel vision, a battle plan combo. Oh, and a Grimtosh. Okay, so it looks like he already got his starting interrupt back. Or he played 12 card. No, he didn't play 12 card because he's got these effects on the table. So I guess he already retrieved his starting interrupt. And there's nothing in the out of play pile, so like Solo didn't show up and put it out of play already. Yoshi's going to have an option here to get something good with Boba Fett's exchange text. I don't know what would, other than like a short range combo to spin, that would be pretty solid. The ship is maneuver 5, so if you could spin a 5, then he's got Toonbuck here, who adds 1 to attrition for each character with ambition. He's got ambition, Lot Dod has ambition, and this guy does not. So Toonbuck can add 2 to attrition. If he could spin a 5 with one of his draws and then draw something solid with the second one, then he could guarantee he clears 2 characters, and that would certainly be worth doing. Oh, and there is the aforementioned Solo. So it looks like he'll pull a card, pick a card, any card. He's going to redraw that. Oh, Hazard Vision. A little bit better. Gets the total 10 Battle Destiny that will clear both characters, as we had surmised. Yep, there's the spin. So good call by Yoshi on pulling the spin to guarantee he also gets 2 characters. Should make his counterattack, if he can mount one, that much more potent. Because that's going to be an 8. You can take the hover cam into hand with orange. Okay. And then he can use Toonbuck there to add 2 more to his attrition. So he does lose the battle. He will have to stack a card. But they should both clear some pretty interesting stuff. Then we'll see if Luke slides over so he can start draining at the docking bay. I'm going to guess a no. He's probably not ready to do that just yet. I think he's going to have to lose Rey. Yep, leave Anakin behind. All right. And there was a 4th game going on we'll pop into real quick. Actually, let's go. That one's just getting underway here. Let's go back to this first game real quick. They've moved things along a little bit. They're both down into the low amounts of life force remaining. Yep, so as predicted, Mr. Cullen was content to just continue with these drains of 4 while he's conceding this drain of 2 up here and then losing 1 to the occupation and 1 to the second drain there. So basically they were swapping 4s each turn. But it looks like we may have had a battle here at some point where Mace was very successful in getting rid of Phasma and those other characters. And now we're left with just a Thrawn non-V aboard a Blizzard 4 against Mace, Leia, and Rey. And this could be the tipping point that Mr. Cullen needs here. He's got him outpowered pretty well here. He gets 2 more from the sector. So Thrawn basically covers the difference in the battle. So, but Rey is adding 1 to the total, so that's going to come down to Destiny draws as well. So if Light Side can draw decently here, probably some type of tracked 5. Yep. They've got a pretty significant power advantage. So they win by 9. Thrawn will cover 7 of that, so they'll still be on the hook for 2 more cards. And it'll be up to whether or not he wants to lose Blizzard 4 or Peel 2. And Leia's outlived her usefulness, probably canceled 2 drains already. Yep, he's going to have to peel 2 cards. Alright, so this game is certainly going to go another couple of turns as they continue to just ping damage each other. Actually, it's up to 2 for occupation now. And then our 4th current OCS matchup we've got going on here. Gavino with Yavin 4 Ops. Another Yavin 4 Ops deck. Seems to have grown in popularity thanks to R. Surson's good showing with it at the Endor Grand Prix in his first major event, making the top 8. Looks like this is the big executor version of ISB. There's 2 versions of the deck you see floating around. There's the one where you pull Bespin, get the free executor, load up a bunch of agents on it, and then kind of do like some Blizzard Walkers and generic docking bays and stuff. Bespin docking bay or the Spaceport docking bay. And just kind of satisfy battle plan and things like that, and then kind of counterattack your opponent a little bit. Mitigate their damage. You flip, you retrieve an agent, you do something like Image of a Dark Lord to kind of limit their drains on the ground. And just kind of grind the game out slowly. The other version is more of like a matching Starfighter kind of thing with it's what we've seen Ryan Jellison was using at the Endor Grand Prix. I believe he played it this year with like Super Slave 1 and that kind of stuff, and just some other ISB agents as pilots for the Starfighters, and very different location choices. So, but these guys are definitely going to be underway for quite some time. This looks, I don't see a squadron assignments here, so this looks more like Jedi Council Chamber, more like a Yavin 4 mains platform. He just pulled the farm with the farm puller. He's got Jedi Luke and his weapon, that kind of stuff. So it's really more of a mains deck than the space heavier versions that we've been seeing lately that we were just watching in the other game. So these guys are definitely going to have some time to play, but definitely encourage everybody to jump in and get some OCS games in if you can. All right, I'm thinking about queuing up one myself, but I don't want anyone to know exactly what deck I'm playing, so I'm going to turn my camera off for a second, and let's see if we can't queue up a game here. And see what deck do we want to play. There's quite a few people playing in the lobby right now, so this might take a little while. So always the problem sometimes with OCS games is it can take a little while to find a willing participant. But especially when there's 8 other guys already playing, so there's only about 15 guys or so in the chat. You know what? It's actually almost 11 o'clock. I don't know that I want to start a game right this late. All right, so let's skip that. All right. And let's go back and watch the conclusion of this match between Retwin and Wayne Cullen. It's a very close game. These guys are both down to about 8 cards. Grievous just stole a lightsaber from the lost pile. Okay. So he's using Jedi business with this one. Okay. Gets an episode 1 lightsaber, Malastare, Mos Espa, or the nightclub. Didn't really see any of those other systems or locations with it though. He got Scarif out. That's interesting. Get any battleground system, right? It makes Rogue One completely immune while it's piloted. It's an interesting system choice to just sort of play on its own. Sometimes that's the thing too. Is you have to keep popping back and forth into the lobby, just seeing what games are available and where you might be able to jump in and get a game in. But if you put a game up, it usually doesn't take you too long. With the leagues, because obviously there's a limited participation pool in those, depending on the size of the league that you're playing in. Between the sealed leagues and some of the open series and things like that, it can take a little bit longer to get a game in. And then the OCS, with it being a more competitive environment, and obviously there's a limited number of games you can play. People really do want to make sure that they can block off an appropriate amount of time to get that game in before they are willing to just accept it. So it can take a little longer sometimes to find a match. But there's 4 or 5 guys in chat watching. Definitely appreciate you guys staying up and watching a little bit here with me, going through some OCS stuff. Like I said, I'm so excited at the results, from last year, how successful it was, and to see year 2 be even more successful. Just a great way to continue to grow the GEM platform, the Star Wars community. So many players are saying things like, oh, I wish I still had my cards, or I sold them all years ago. It's like, great, now you can play for free. There's a way for you to still be involved. You can play on GEM for free, with cards. I mean, the tournament itself costs money, but you don't have to spend any money buying stuff. You want to come to a real life tournament, then you need to know just which cards you need for a specific deck, and you can buy just those, or better yet, you can try and borrow them from people, because that's another great thing about this community. We lend decks to people. People who are going to show up to tournaments and play against us will be like, here's the deck you asked me for. Good luck. And then, I might get paired against you, and then you might beat me with my own cards. Crazy, I know. But we're all just here to have a good time, have fun, and just play some really competitive games and see what happens. So, and occasionally we get to stream stuff, which is always fun. Other thing, of course, to keep an eye on are the jump timers. Each player has their 50-minute clock. While it's on you to make a decision about something, your clock is the one that's running. Obviously, when you alternate actions, like your opponent activates force, and then it's on you to pass. So it flips over to you for a second, runs a couple seconds off your timer. Now it's back on, the light side. They'll do their force drains. I think we're about to see Mace and these guys give up this location. Question is, are they going to move back over? And is any of this stuff ready to possibly move back up? Hux is shuttled down now, so it's just Chiranu by himself. It's still power 15, but it is just Chiranu. You've got Theranet aboard. He adds a Destiny to power. Oh, it's Theranet V, so no, he does not. I was going to say regular Theranet while he's aboard Red 10 adds Destiny to power. So yeah, this isn't isn't terrible. Power, you got 9 total there, obviously. Of course, it would cost Darkseid a force to draw Destiny against Gold Leader. You've got this ship that you can forfeit for, 5 extra forfeit fodder. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some of this stuff move on this turn. He got his drains in. He kind of whittled his opponent down a little bit. He could also just move these guys back over and try and wait one more turn. But now we're looking at 2 from occupation, 2 drain here, 1 here. So he's doing 5. Darkside's doing 5 to Lightside's 4. With the very few amount of cards left. Oh, no worries there. Yep, no battle plan necessary, because, yeah, Luke's all the way over here, satisfying that. Oh, looks like we got an extra ship. Green Leader in Green Squadron 1, and this guy cancels immunity to attrition altogether. Cancel immunity to attrition of any starship here, and then this ship becomes hit, so it has to go next. But it also adds a destiny when it's with a Rebel snub fighter. So you could slide Gold Leader back up. That would be 2 battle destiny. He can cancel the immunity of the Executor, and that would basically guarantee that that this Chiranu's going to go away, and possibly, as a result, then the ship soon afterward. I could also move Luke back over. I'd prefer to keep this as it is and keep this drain of 4 pressure on at the same time, and I think Gold Leader does a much better job of forcing Darkseid to keep a force if they want to even draw Destiny back. And then I'd probably slide these 2 guys over in front of Vader. It is 1 more that you get drained for on the ground, but you also at the same point in time need to keep your ground presence, and with a little bit more power here now with Grievous and Blizzard 4 and the lightsaber hitting Rey, this is just the smarter play, is to move these guys back to the better location for them to be at. And we're certainly getting to the point here where this Executor might have to actually think about leaving and giving up this occupation. It's kind of been his main source of damage, and if he gives it up, he almost certainly can't win, but at the same point in time, there isn't a whole lot else he can do. I mean, he can shuttle back up. I think that might be what he ends up having to do, is at the very least shuttle, drain occupation damage, shuttle Hux back up, and save a force to draw Destiny with. It's going to be close. I think Lightside's going to win this one by about 4. So Retwin is longtime seasoned Star Wars pro, but very new to the GEMP platform. So I'm wondering if he's had any misclicks or missed interactions that he's had to deal with here, including this interaction right here I'm looking at. He's draining for 1 at this site. He's got the option to using the lightsaber to add to the drain is an optional response, which I don't see that he's triggered yet in the chat. So come on, B-Fred. Nope. He did not use the lightsaber. It's not some weird gimmicky thing. And he just realized what he just did. Oh, that's why it was sitting there all highlighted, asking me if I had anything else I wanted to do. Yes, because it wanted you to click your lightsaber to add to the drain. So that is one of the little interactions that is the difference between the way real life games go, where things like that are verbally communicated or just often taken for granted. Um, that in Jump you do have to declare all these individual actions, things that say may, which a lot of things do. You actually have to click the buttons. Hey, there you go. Now we got it. And of course, he's making excuses. This is like my fifth game here. Always making excuses, Brian Fred. Always making excuses. Click back out to the lobby, see what's going on. Lauren's still waiting for games, but it looks like Fungineer and Flood just got started with a casual game. So you see people still continuing to add games. Oh, one of our OCS games just finished up the Brigham game that he was playing. Looks like that one just wrapped up. That one seemed to really be going Killer Kiwi's way, so we can check the standings. Yep, Brigham. He's 0-4, so that seems like, and Killer Kiwi picks up a win there. So good win for Killer Kiwi. Looks like he had good control in that game with his hunt down deck. We got a real nail biter here. And like we said, light side down to 4 cards down and 1 in hand. But dark side can't make it all the way. So like they can't even move the executor if they leave here to block this drain with Luke. And they're still going to get hit for 4, 5, 6, 7. That would take them down to just 3 cards left in total. And then he's going to get battled here. It's going to be real close. Darkseid might be able to grind this one out with the occupation damage. Because Lightside's not going to be able to keep moving. Lightside can't afford to battle in 2 places and like swing at people and stuff. But at the same point in time, if Vader gets hit, this game's kind of over. Because of the overflow. He deployed a laser cannon battery. This late in the game, that seems like a waste of a card to me. It seems like a card he'd rather have for a force drain. And Darkseid is going to initiate battle here. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. He's going to try and shoot Gold Leader and Gold 1. He's going to spend the 3 force. Does he have the sniper? Or Relentless Pursuit, or whatever it would have to be? Because if he can't make it immediately lost, that would be a bigger problem. Oh, he does have to lose a force. Okay, because he hit it with the ship. But now he's got no battle destiny, and his opponent is drawn 2. Now, if he uses this text, obviously, then the ship loses. He loses both ships and his ability to drain and or battle or anything like that. But he doesn't have any force left either, so. I think light side has to here, because if they can take the executor down, then they're in much better shape. So if they cancel its immunity to attrition, then they just have to beat 4. And then the whole executor goes away, pulls battle plan, it kicks in, and then he's got to pay to drain, and he loses his occupation damage. So I think you have to use invoke green leader here. Which he has to use his text first, which I don't think he did. Yeah, he's got to use that first, so that is a declared action. Okay, there he goes. He used that there. And then he's got 2 destiny, and he has to beat 4. And then light side wins by 4, which is exactly the number I predicted. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. There's the 4. Just don't draw a 0 and you're home free. That's a 9. Bye-bye, executor. Dark side initiated battle, so they have to lose something first. So they can lose the guy. Yeah, alright, he's just going to concede. Nice game played by both players. Obviously, they are both down to the single digits. Just to do the math for you, for what happens here, executor, he can lose the guy, loses a ship, then he has to lose the ship, and before the second ship is forfeited, it'll still cancel occupation. He could still move the ship up on light side's turn, obviously, of course, but light side will get the drain of 4 in, and they don't have to do anything else because dark side would only have, at that point, 2 cards left, can't afford to pay to drain. Just pull battle plan as the 4th shield that he still has available, and then it's home free. So congrats to Cullen on picking up a good win there. Obviously, both players had a good game, and yeah, people are gonna jump back in the lobby and see if another game pops up. Looks like JNAP is pulling way ahead here on Yoshi. Let's just pop back in here. It seemed like it was really going JNAP's way. Yeah, Luke's still just chilling over here, not doing a whole lot. But I mean, he does have a lightsaber and a proficiency. He's getting around Coward because there's 2 battlegrounds. So Luke is still draining and doing damage, even though he is at a non-battleground location. We got an empty saber 1. Oh, Emperor Shuttle. Okay, so we saw the Profundity take out Slave 1, and it looks like the Emperor and his shuttle came back and cleared the rest of these guys off. But he was able to keep at least something going and escape with the ships live for now. And now we're at a point where Darkside's paying to drain from their own battle order shield. Lightside is not currently, and Lightside is doing significantly more damage. So you've got, well, this is a drain of 0. This could be a drain of 1, but then they're also getting this drain of 2 here as well. This could be the thing that swings things back in the favor, except for the fact that there's no destiny left. He used a lot Dodd to take a card from Force Pile, so if he had to activate everything to get to the no escape, that's certainly understandable. But if he could have left a destiny or 2, that would have been a lot better, because no escaping Baron, redeploying Baron, battling this Profundity, clearing the ship off the system would be a huge swing for Yoshi. Then Coward kicks back in, Lightside is doing no damage, and then they can start to catch up a little bit. And now they've got their own battlegrounds covered to get around battle order. But unfortunately, that Profundity is going to have a turn to get some reinforcements. We don't know what J-Nap's got in his hand. If he has any characters left, we've already seen several characters. Earlier were pilots on there. He had Rey, he had Anakin, he had Lando there. It does look like he's just going to battle anyway, just to do the draw their fire swing, cause one force loss, retrieve another force. They're both power 6, so it would be a push. He has no destiny to draw, so therefore he can't spin, and he can't just say, I draw a 0 and then add 2 to the attrition. It's because there is no battle destiny, there's nothing to add the attrition to. So, but he does get the Stinger back, so that's another ship that he got back. So now he's, he did cause at least a little force difference there, a little force loss. It's a 2 force swing total, so that's a smart play by Yoshi. Obviously, just, wishing he could have at least left one card there because then he would have cleared the profundity completely, but, he can still make some moves. Oh, somebody wants to play dark. Do I feel like taking on another game? Tartag is still playing. They're still playing. Whose game could it be? Fungineers in the game. Could be Mingtown. Could be Queso. Could be Aeneas. Could be Brigham. I don't think Brian signed up. So this is what the players do. When do you see a game pop up? You look through the lobby and say, whose game could that be? Could be Mr. Cullen again. Could be Killer Kiwi again. Both of them just finished games a few minutes ago. You know what? I'm feeling saucy. Why not? Give me a light side deck. Let's go with Watch Your Step. If you're watching, don't watch my stream while we're playing. Alright, we're going to take on Brigham. Get out of that window there. This should be interesting. I haven't played a game of Star Wars in about 3 months, so. Oh, he's playing Dark Side Combat. This should be really interesting then. Oh, I'm so popular, everybody knows my name. Sometimes you want to go to the cantina where they all know your name. I have no doubt this will be a very different deck. Most of Brigham's decks are not your typical cookie cutter garden variety decks that you see a lot of people using. They usually have a much more interesting, I don't want to say gimmick, but yeah, it's kind of a gimmick. So we're going to go with Squadron Simon's Like My Father. I must be allowed to speak. Some people have Walkling in there as like an alternate card, whatever to use. I don't even bother with Walkling because 9 times out of 10, I don't want to start it. I want to start. These are the 3 effects I want on the table. So he grabs the Executor. And now I have a choice of, do I want to play a shield? And the answer is yes. Because I don't want him pitching that and getting a system. So we'll pull this shield. It's Watch Your Step. I don't really need that many shields, right? Yep. So what do we got in our hand? We got Dash Outrider right off the bat. That's pretty good. And then Wedge to match for as well for the Pulsar Skate. So that feels pretty strong. Let's see who's watching. Just make sure, you know. Say there's some bots. Okay. Kiss my Wookie. Oh, congrats, Mr. Cullen, on your recent win. Do have to be a little careful here. I don't want to get shield busted. But so this is the card that lets Maul move around, right? Relocate Maul. Yep, you can get Maul's lightsaber. Yep. Well, he's got quad drive yards. Maybe pulling this wasn't a wise idea. Since he's got Kuat anyway to get systems. See, this is where I'm just rusty. Mustafar to get the castle. Seems pretty standard, really. Yep. Jesus, I can activate like a third of my deck at this point. I haven't even taken a turn. I'm already getting 11. Thank you, Dark Side Combat. He's activating 12. Let's see how much force he saves. Who did he command for? He commanded and took Piet. Yeah. Alright, so let's activate a bunch. Way too much force. He saved 2. 12 for the Executor, 2 for Piet. Can't battle, though. Unless I give him any force. Let's pass activate. Let's pass control phase actions. And let's go take a peek for Kessel, which I should probably have activated at this point. Oh, Kessel's there. So's my farm. Okay. So's my pulsar skate. I can afford to put both ships down. I could just go Kessel, Wedge, Outrider, and just plop it all at Kessel and just start draining for 3. It doesn't seem so bad. But make him start top deck and stuff. That's tempting. What else we got? All 4 Lukes are still in here, so there's none in my force pile. What about Whis? There's one of those in my force pile that would get me that. Let's do that. And while I think about this a little more, we'll just go pull a farm. One thing to remember about Jump too is there is that hidden 5-minute action timer. If you don't do something to like advance the game state within 5 minutes, while you're thinking about your plan or strategy, or you run to the bathroom to pee or something, Jump will time you out and give your opponent the win and just end the game. So where's Mirax? Mirax is still in there. Han is in there, but my Falcon isn't. Ooh, I wonder if I have the wrong Falcon. I was playing solo, and I switched to Captain Han, but I don't know if I changed Falcons back. Thanks, Zader. Hopefully, I'll remember how to play this game. Alright. 2, 4, 7. I could do that. I don't know that I feel the need to push the pace that much. Let's just take it easy. Let's not do anything hasty. Yeah, I do have the wrong Falcon in. Damn it. All right. We'll pass. We'll save the rest of those. The downside when you make a deck building error, especially when you're playing in a competitive OCS game, is you can't just be like, oh, hang on, I got the wrong card. Let's cancel the game and, try it again later. It's like, yeah, no, you get nothing. You're stuck. So we are stuck playing the wrong Falcon, but maybe we can at least get something useful out of it. It's only maneuver 6 and immune to less than 5 if I have that Chewy aboard. Alright. I still have my Admiral's Order too, that'll still help. And it is still considered a matching starship for Han. But that is an unfortunate deck building error. Alright, so he spent a couple of force on an accelerate, and he took I Am Your Father. Alright, so he's going ground with... He's got options with Vader or Maul. Yeah, we're going to have to flip in space, but that's not really going to get me anywhere. Okay, so he's got Bespin. So we can do a free executor to Bespin. Nice. Do I want to make him pay 2 for that? No. No, I do not. That's fine. You may have your free executor to Bespin. Yep. And let's see who else he puts on there. There's a Tarkin, so that's the second Battle Destiny. I am your father. I am your father. Oh, we're going to move phase. Okay. Let's go get our Boss Nash chamber. While we're in there, do not see a Hoojix. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a grabber out. Haha. Let's do that now. And grab our Pulsar Skate. So now I just put 2 5s together on the bottom of my deck. Plus I also now have an easier access to a combo. I'm going to shuffle those 5s around because I'm going to have to look to match for something. Now he's going to get a grabber. Yep. Alright, he's drawn quite a few. His big ship is down. It's probably the only ship he's running. Now the question is who do we match for? Activate action or pass. We will pass, activate, pass control. Let's go look for Kessel. That's not there. Just to see what pilots we can match for. Nobody. Obi, Lando. Yeah, there's nobody. Nobody home. I certainly don't want to draw more cards. I'm not even sure I even want to put the Boss Nash Chamber at this point. Honestly, I'm already getting 14. Alright, we are going to try and do this the complicated way. So, we're going to deploy Kessel. And then we're going to deploy Pulsar Skate simultaneously with Wedge to Kessel. And then we're going to deploy our Falcon simultaneously with Chewie to the docking bay. Because when I deploy Chewie to Tatooine, I get to use, I must be allowed to speak to get a card out of my used pile. That flips my objective. I will take a card from used. And we're going to grab Han. And we're going to put Han as a pilot on the Falcon. Pass deploy, pass battle. That's going to take off. Do I want to switch these ships? Yes. I should have put them the other way. That'll move over there. That'll temporarily flip me back. If I thought that through a little more, I would have done that in the right order, save myself a force, but oh well. No biggie. It's one force. Pass, move, draw. Oh, that could come in handy. Yeah, those are my Hoochicks. We shall save that force. Yeah, you can have that drain of one, because to be honest, I don't want that Boss Nash Chamber. It's just a liability at this point. I don't need the force activation. I'm already getting more than enough. And having that there just as a location on the ground where he can put a spy or something that I can't cover right now. So we don't need to use it, so let's not deploy it. drop. That'll let him stack some cards on the bottom, right? Oops. He can stack and interrupt I play. I can use 3/4 to place it used. Once per turn, place a card from hand on bottom of used pile. Okay. There's Maul. No Saber. Oh, he does have several other ships, though. He's got a Cardinal Jendon. He's got an Emperor Shuttle. A couple Lord Vaders. Thrawn V. Grievous. So I kind of figured, and some decent High Destinies overall. I kind of figured he would just be doing maybe the big Executor, maybe like one other Star Destroyer. But that is not the case. So I guess I'll have to be a little bit more cautious. I'll get the castle and pull Vader out while he can. But yeah, me not having a lightsaber or not having a Luke to go contest some of this ground stuff. Oh, there's a Phantom Menace. I could just go get a third battleground and like pull resistance when these guys get their weapons. Vader's obviously going to move wherever I go to on the ground. So, and Maul's got a combat card. That's not really important anytime soon. Now for the $64 million question. Does he want to move his ship? I'm going to guess no, but hey, you never know. Maybe he's feeling sassy. He is declining to move. It's a wise decision. He's going to try and piece together more of a starship combo. It's tempting to put card here and land wedge. He's going to pull battle order now. Okay. And then just draw a few. So we're going to pass activate. We will drain at Kessel. And here go multiple copies of They Must Never Again Leave This City. You're probably playing 4 or 5 of them in this type of deck, you'd think. And he top decks a Vader. Okay. So that was one of the the weaker destinies that was in his deck. I don't really have a lot to do, and I've got way too much force, so I can go ahead and afford to pay to drain for one there, too. And he just lost Thrawn. So there goes another character, at least. He'll pull the useless gesture shield. Okay. Let's pass control phase. Let's go for it. I'm feeling sassy. And he just put a card down. He can't quite activate to it. Okay. Vader's there. Maul's there. Tarkin's up in space. He's got... Can't put the Emperor on the ground. He's got Dooku and Kylo. And I've got some outs for those guys. Let's... pass control. Pass deploy. Choose. Pass battle. Land. That's free. Wedge gets out. Pass move. Let's draw a few. Character's good. That could come in handy. That could also come in handy. There's the guy I was looking for. See if we can't find something else. Hey, there's the second one. There we go. That's solid. Let's put that back. See if he wants to waste his little grabber thing on it. Nope. Alright. And we will save those cards. Alright, so we're going to lose 3 here. That's not bad. I'm going to pitch the Wisa because if I need it, I can play it from my lost pile. I can't cancel that. That's cool. That's exactly the card I really wanted in my lost pile. It was the Jedi Live. So he deploys and comes to battle me. I've got some aces up my sleeve. Stacks a card on Vader. Okay, just a way of getting more good cards out of his hand. We top decked 2, so our cards are 12 down now. He's going to look for Maul's lightsaber. That should definitely be in there because it was in the force he spent last turn. It's going to be hard for me to put Luke like on Tatooine or anything. Chirnu to increase his space drain. So that's now a drain of 2. Yeah, I just can't force drain where I've got a Jedi. So if Vader moves over to these guys, I can still drop Luke and beat the crap out of him. But you gotta figure with drop, he can put 5s and 6s pretty easily. He's gonna pull resistance, which means Vader's going to a battleground. Where's Vader going? Here maybe it's my lost pile, so I could cancel I have you now if that comes up. Yep. Oh, Vader went to the other site. Okay. And the Executor moved to Tatooine. If I had him moving to attack position, this would be a little easier, but I don't. Yeah, we're going to pull weapons display. He deployed Chiranu. I can retrieve a card. As much as I want that Jedi left in my lost pile, where I know I can get to it, at the same point in time, being able to retrieve a card is also pretty good. Especially because he's shield busted now and I get to retrieve for free. Yep, he's setting up destinies. He's got plenty of good destinies available to him, which is why, like I said, trying to keep the force loss and winning a combat and things like that is going to be very, very challenging. But I don't know that I have much of a choice. He's got a command. He's got plenty of stuff going on in space. I've got a barrier canceller if he's got a set for stun. Yeah, let's retrieve a force. Gonna activate 12. That's 5 sitting on top now. And now we gotta think. Yep. He just put 2 great cards together on the bottom of his deck, which he can now activate to both. So, crap. Alright, let's drain him first. Let's see what he loses while we think about this one. It's not the best spot to be in. I'm not going to cancel my own drain. Alright, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Little kitty crying at my door wants to come in and watch some Star Wars actions. Alright, so he loses a command from the used pile, which is the card he put back with drop. Still not going to cancel my own Force Drain, thank you. The only time you ever want to cancel your own Force Drain is with Leia Rebel Princess, when you have a good card here you want to put on top of your deck. Which you can do, by the way. And he loses an Accelerate from hand. Now, Talon card here lets me do something. Once during each of your control phases, peek at one card from opponent's hand or top deck of their reserve deck. Let's peek at the top card of his reserve deck. It's a 2. If I battle in space, he could redraw that, so we don't want to do that. Let's Tunnel Vision. I really would love a friggin' Bith Shuffle here to shuffle his deck around, but... Alright, so what are we looking for? We're looking for the Sorry About the Mess to just hit Vader and, like, possibly... Well, we know what we're going to draw there. Lando could be somewhat useful to cancel Maul's text, but it's not really going to matter if my guys get hit. So I think we have to take the moving to attack position. Okay. Let's put Luke down. This is probably not going to work out the way I want it to, but I don't have much else going for me. Let's see if he gets barriered. So what I'm expecting to do is barrier. No barrier. That makes me nervous. Where's that stupid weapon lev shield? Because that's a quick way to lose a game, is get hit with that. Alright, we're going to use Like My Father. We're going to put that on my force pile. And then I'm going to battle. So now I just spent a 5, and now I should draw 1 for Destiny. So at least I can put 2 5s together. So I might have a reasonable shot at least keeping Luke on the table. I can lose 4. Losing 4 is not a problem. There's the force field. If I grab it, then I just screwed up my tracking. I kind of have to grab it, though. Maybe I want to grab the command. Screw it. Probably not battling in space much anyway. Let's just hope I didn't screw this up, and that's still the 5. Alright, let's go to Battle Destiny. Yay! I can still count. That's a 6. That beats Vader's immunity. Bye-bye, Lord Vader. We know what he's got on top. It was a 2, because we peaked. Which is why we did this whole thing. When you can peek at a Destiny draw before you do your actions, usually they work out in your favor. So Vader's going to die. Whatever card was under Vader will go sit there on top of that 2. So it's probably a 5 or a 6. I'd rather be at this site. It's a bigger drain. Choose battle action. I've played all 4 shields. Yeah, I think I really want resistance. Or ultimatum. No, I don't care. I don't care because I'm just going to cancel it with the control. Haha. Pass battle. Pass move. Let's draw. That's a good one. That's a great one. That one's pretty solid too. And we'll leave those cards behind. Alright, so we killed a Vader, and you already top-decked one earlier. So that's at least 2 Vaders in the lost pile. He activated everything. That's the 2. That's the 2 he drew for Destiny. We'll play that and cancel the Destiny. Cancel the drain of 3. That'll cost me 1. So he's going to move over, he's going to combat, and he's going to draw the 2. Okay. I feel okay with those choices. Tarkin's Bounty, that'll get him any card he wants out of his force pile, so that'll get him another character. And because it's on Tarkin, that'll let him peek at stuff. Don't forget about that text, kids. If on Tarkin, once per turn, peek at top card of any reserve deck, so we can check out his reserve deck or my reserve deck. That'll let him decide whether he wants to try and combat or not. That'll let him check that Destiny and find out it's a 2. It's the 2 that Vader drew for Battle Destiny. It's the Onyx 2. also thinking we're getting to the point in time where Dash Melas Outrider may end up going to Bespin next turn to get me an extra drain to kind of speed this thing along a little bit. But I'm sure he either got himself a No Escape or another copy of a ground character. He's looking at the top card of my reserve deck now. Let's see what he does. If he feels confident about something, if he makes a bold play, I may use Rescue in the Clouds to move that and shuffle. Take one into hand, and then reshuffle. There's Kylo. He doesn't have enough destiny to swing. Kylo's fine. There's Grievous. Let's barrier Grievous. Only because I don't want him playing command to limit me to one. I want to make sure I draw 2 destiny. He's going to grab the barrier. Okay. So those are just spent force. I don't know what those cards are. Does get him a 3rd battleground, though. That should certainly help. He's passing battle phase. Executor moved over. I'm feeling pretty good about that. He's got to have a command, right? Maul moves over. Let's use Rescue. Well, that stinks. We had some pretty good destiny sitting there. We'll take another character, though. Characters are good. We like characters. He is going to try and combat. So we would have had 6-4. We would have had 10. And that would have beat his 8. Oh, shit. Things you just don't know. You live, you learn. It could have been a 2 on top. The fact that he moved over still, either he didn't remember he's got a 2, or he felt pretty good about it. So he still only has 8 total. I have a pretty good shot of drawing decently enough to beat that. Ouch. There are a couple of characters still floating around in there, so. Fudge. Now I've got to top deck 4 cards. And lose Luke. And these are all going to be really high destiny. Ready? Oh. Well, there's 8. That would have tied. And there's the Jedi Lev that would have saved my ass that I should have left in my lost pile. I wouldn't be able to play it anyway because I already played the control this turn, but. Yep. We'll put Luke. Ugh. That sucks. That just let him retrieve Vader. So Vader's sitting on top with the 2. What does Tarkin say? Does he just cancel and redraw? Doesn't let you take into hand, though. He just cancels it. Yep. Screwed that up terribly. Those are the 2 ones. It'd be great if I could deploy Luke and Weapon Lev my saber back, but. His destiny on top suck. He's got 1, 2. He can redraw the first one. I'm sure he'd command. Yeah, we're going to have to try and clear him out in space. Hey, he's got a Lord Vader in hand. Alright. Let's go do our dirty business. Choose control phase action. We will pass control. Deploy Outrider dash to Kessel. Leslomi pilot. Yeah, I mean, he can command to limit me to 1. That's fine. I wish I had a spin, but I don't. I still have a lot more power than he does. Or I will once I subtract 9. us to the cantina. He made a mistake. Shake it off. Move on. He's playing Maul Strikes to go get a weapon. So he's going to go look for Vader's lightsaber now, which also shuffles his deck. Okay. We're still going to battle. Pass deploy. Yes. I'm going to move into attack position on the Outrider, even though I don't really need to, just in case. He's going to grab it with drop. Okay. But now that thing is power 11. Yep. There's the command to limit me. I can still reduce that to power by 11. Pardon me. Alright, so we drew a 5. That's fine, we don't need to do anything funny with it. He drew a 5. Yeah, I'm going to make him redraw that. Sweet. Oh, he could redraw that with Tarkin if he remembers. Because he forgot to use Tarkin to add a second destiny. And see if he tracks the 2 or the 5 or how he does it. Because right now he's got 4 or 5 on the bottom. And he drew another 5. Alright. Chewie doesn't add anything to power, right? No. So we'll just lose Chewie. And he doesn't have to forfeit anything, but he's down. He's got 8 battle damage, so he's going to have to lose something here, right? I don't know. There's a couple of you guys watching. What do you think? That battle go pretty well for me? An 8 is a couple cards and 1 guy. I don't know that he can afford to just peel 8 at this point, but he's going to lose Piet for 6 and then peel 2. goes the shuttle. And a force lightning from the used pile. Okay. We pass battle. Embark. Pilot. Embark. Pilot. Take off. Pass move. Draw. That's a dead card. We'll save those two in case I need to play an interrupt. So we might still be able to find a way to win this game, but you know, we're doing okay so far. Obviously, we're about even in terms of life force. This stupid Luke thing here certainly set me back a little bit. I would have won that, not lost cards, and I probably would have tried to sorry about the mess and get them all off the table, and then gotten a big drain in behind it, which probably would have been backbreaking for him to try and climb back in after that. But we had some bad luck, and now we are just seeing what other tricks we have up our sleeve. Let's watch your steps. So this usually has plenty of tricks going. Let's get ultimatum. He drains at the docking bay. I cancel it with It's a Hit. That guy drains over there for 2. I lose the clash. That's now useless to me. Yeah, we'll lose the It's a Hit. I may end up getting it back. Probably not. He's probably going to deploy that Vader and battle Melas. He might be nervous about me having a dodge, though. I'm almost positive I did not lose earlier. Oh, there's Jendon. Is he going to shoot my ship? Mirax Wisa, Jedi Lev. Yep, he found a cannon. That's not good. Because this thing is still only maneuver 4. Oh, I can't believe we punted this game. He's battling me in space. I think I have to play it, right? To make sure I get 2 Battle Destiny. See if he's got another command, I guess. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Cost of Force. I don't want to do that. No, no, no. Ah, shit. Yeah, he's just going to shoot the Outrider, and I really wanted to make him redraw it. Yeah, we screwed this whole thing up. What a bum play. If I make him redraw it, the card underneath should be the 2, which is still good enough to get rid of the Outrider because nothing adds to maneuver on it. And I wouldn't have enough force to play in any interrupts my lost pile. So, yeah, so we're still screwed either way. So, I guess this is going to work out for the best. And he did have another command. Yeah. All right, so we punted this game horribly. This is why I needed to get a warm-up game or 2 in before I started playing OCS games. All right, so February is not going to be my month. February is going to be my learning curve month. I could ask him to revert, but... Oh. Is that anytime during battle if you just drew... Okay. So if I had made him redraw, he would have drawn that for Destiny. Then Tarkin could have redrawn that, and he still would have gotten to shoot. And he would have hit. He wouldn't have drawn the 7 for Battle Destiny, though, that's for sure. Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, it's not terrible because they forfeit for a ton, but we pretty much lose. Jendon and a cannon. Should have seen it coming. Should have seen it coming. That's useless to me now. Theranet is no good. That's the Hujix, right? That would be the force I spent to play the Hujix. And there's the dodge. Yep, he'll dock, he'll move over. Well, what's this Maul immune to? He's immune to less than 6. So I need a 5. I don't have a 5. That's the perimeter scan. That's a 4. Oh, Grievous getting sassy. There are no immediate effects on my deck. Fucking Obi-Wan. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for rubbing that in. He's 0-4. I mean, maybe I can still pull this out of my ass. Let's see what we. I mean, not with the Obi-Wan sitting there. That certainly was not what I was looking for. It's the top card of his reserve deck. All right. Do we just go take out Kylo and then move Melas away? I don't really like that. I know I can't get rid of Maul. And I probably can't overflow Grievous or anything. So I guess we'll have to do it the hard way. I need to take out both these ground guys. Alright, so activate, pass, no drains. It's sad I have to actually talk myself through this. Alright, so Luke comes down here. And when Luke goes to Tatooine, he gets me a card. Give me a good one. A tunnel vision. But at least I know all the destiny I spent is a goddamn gold mine. Jesus. Need to draw 5? Well, that won't be a problem next turn. They're all goddamn 5s. Let's go get a card. Pick a card, any card. What do I got left? Well, I got Lando. So let's drop Lando. And he'll get me a card as well. You son of a bitch. Yeah. I gotta draw the 1 and the 4 when this is all sitting left in my deck still. I'm gonna take the rescue so that way I can set up my destiny next turn. Because I'm going to draw the 1 and the 4, they'll end up on top, and then at the start of my turn I can play the rescue, take the Obi into hand, and then have a big pile of destinies, and maybe Obi can go kill Maul. Alright. Pass deploy. Let's battle this guy. I mean, it's still 5, still 7 total. I mean, I still have 20. Grievous covers 13. You'd have to top deck a 7, right? He's swinging for Lando. Yeah, I think we got to go for it here. And play the dodge to subtract 3 from each. I can move away from there for free, so we're okay. Just not a 7. All right. So Lando lives. We pass. We go to Battle Destiny. I get my 2. That puts me up to 20. Whenever he draws, he's at 13. So everything less than 7 is a card he has to lose. Unless he's got a Gick. Come on. Alright. So he loses Grievous in 1. I can lose Luke, keep the Cantina. I've got more Lukes. I can lose Lando, and then I can move Luke over. Let's do that. He's got Vader plus lightsaber in hand, though. I don't want to split those guys up, because I don't have enough force to play my Hujix. So we're going to lose Luke and leave those 2 guys together. Pass battle. This moves back to Kessel. Pass move. Draw that one. Hey, look, it's another Luke. Shocker. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. take Obi. We shuffle all the rest of that stuff around. 4, 5, 8. Yeah, we're toast. Drain a 1. You both cost 6. Yep. Yep. Oh, there's Vader. What lightsaber is this? Power +1. You can cancel the immunity of a Jedi. Target for free. Okay. Guessing he doesn't battle. He just blocks. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, this will at least work out mildly okay, because when I deploy Luke, he'll flip and then he can't battle me wherever he has a Jedi. But we're still going to lose. Just maybe a matter of time delaying the inevitable. Maybe I can get him to make a mistake somehow. Yep, I'll draw back up his good cards. So use drop. Maybe it'll take him 11 minutes to kill me and I'll win on time. Yeah, no, we got no business winning this game. We're going to activate all 7. Pass activate. Pass control. We put Luke there. Pass. Pass. Move to Bespin. Because it only costs me plus to move from Bespin, right? From. Requires +1. Okay. Pass move. See, I forgot to use talent card again, right? Or is that only when he's out of sight? Nope. I just keep forgetting to use them. Alright, he can drain me for 1, which is the 1 card in my hand. And then we'll see what happens. Maybe he gets crazy and tries to move Maul over and combat me. He left 1 card. That should be the card he put back with drop, so this should be pretty reasonable for him. Oh, it's drain of 2. 1. 2. Alright. Let's see if he goes for it. He doesn't need to. He can just pass and he just, wins. Yep. He does add 1 to his total as well with Maul Saber, so he does have me beat there. There's the 7 that he's stacked. Oh, did he screw that up? Yep, he did screw that up. Because he forgot to use the card he has face down first. Rutrow. Zoinks. Wonder if I would have won anyway. I win. That's enough to make him have to lose 2 force and Maul. No, it's 12 to 8. Nope, he just has to lose 2. Curses. If you had 1 less card. See, kids, even when you've been playing this game for a decade, you still have mistakes. Oh, so he wants to go all the way back and revert and do the duel the right way because he doesn't know how the rules work. I'm going to let him have it only because I've already lost this game anyway. And then I'm just going to concede because I don't feel like playing the rest of it out. No, I'll let him. That's fine. Go ahead, move over. Do things the right, proper way. He did it again, so now I'm not letting him revert. Actually, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just keep letting him just keep reverting this and doing this over until he runs out of time. Hey, when you're going down, might as well go down in flames, right? Let's activate 4 and activate and battle with 2 6s. Where do I get further? Where do I get further? Do I get further? Why is he power +2? Oh, from the site, right. He would swing and hit me and draw Destiny. I would draw 7. That's the force he spent to move. No, we're just going to battle in the Cantina. Clear the Cantina. He can only hit one guy. He only has enough Destiny. 2 to move from Bespin. He's not swinging. Okay. Even if he draws to 7, I just lose Lando. Melas gets to live. Not terribly exciting, but nope, he drew a 5. That's fine. I lose Lando. Melas lives. We're still a million miles behind. Pass battle. This moves back to Kessel. Don't really see a point in moving Luke away. Other than to make him spend an extra force. Pass move. Let's draw, see what this card is. Oh, it's a character. He's going to check his destiny, which is the card he just put back with drop, so he should know what it is. right, he's going for the finish, for the big win. Can he remember to do it right this time? Or will he screw it up for the third time? There you go. Yay! He did it. So he substitutes a 5. And then what does he draw? Another 5. So he actually loses. He loses the combat. Whole bunch of accelerates. Okay. We pass control phase. We pass deploy phase. Let's just battle them all. I don't want to take the cheap win. Because literally I win right there by time. Because I've got nothing left. He can just pay to drain for like one more turn. He's got more cards on the table than me. So we'll be the good person this time around. And we'll call it a day. But thank you guys for watching. It was the most exciting game, and obviously had that bad luck with the stupid duel that went sideways. But it's always fun to do some OCS matches. And oh, Mr. Yellow's playing in the other channel. That's where everybody is. They're watching Mr. Yellow play. But you guys have a great night, and be sure and sign up for the OCS if you haven't already, and follow me on Twitch. Even if you don't want it, just click follow and then click the thing so you don't get the notifications. I just need more followers. So have a good night. Thanks.